The key to being able to run faster is all about how explosive you are out of the blocks. And so we're going to be looking at Christian Coleman today and his block start, because there is nobody in the world that is better with their first 3 to 4 steps and being able to effectively accelerate. So some of the key things that stand out that Christian Coleman does should directly correlate to you being able to run faster. We're going to go and hop right into it. I think the best view to be able to get when it comes to looking at your acceleration is this back view, just because it gives you a lot of indications of how you're landing, how you're striking the ground, and how you can improve in those areas. So a big thing that we see here with Christian Coleman, he has a lot of weight on the outside part of the foot, and then he transitions that weight to the inside on really both sides here, right? So we do see a little bit of a what's called adduction, which basically just means he's bringing those knees in closer as he's pushing off. It's not too excessive. I will see some people get a little bit too much action there, but what stands out with him when you watch him go through his sprint is he's just so fast at being able to get that first step down, and he's so effective with his arms too. Notice this first action with his arms. He goes straight up with that front arm and then back with the back arm. I see a lot of people that will waste motion with what they're doing there. He does a little bit of a pull back with that left arm, but for the most part, he's just getting straight out and through. He gets that first step down in a little bit over 0.2 seconds, which is very, very quick. And then he's very fast at being able to transition right back off of that foot, about 0.16 seconds. Both of those times end up being very effective when it comes to looking at how well you're able to get that first foot down or that first step down, and then being able to effectively push off. And then when you look to see how exactly he does that, so we can see he lands here on really the inside part of the foot, and very much on the front part of the foot with that heel nice and high up in the air. But then as he's absorbing, you could see how he kind of absorbs with that heel coming in, knee coming out. So that helps him in being able to keep that weight forward. So instead of absorbing, a lot of times we'll see people absorb through the heel, or they'll drop the heel as they're trying to absorb the weight. But what's key here, and what he does a very good job of, is instead of dropping the heel down, he turns the knee out to then keep the heel to go forward. So this keeps a lot of your weight forward and also improves that shin angle. We can see a similar thing here with this left step as he's landing here, and notice he's right underneath his hip. So we'll see a lot of people that will end up kind of crossing over here, and then even when you see somebody like Xavier Worthy, he'll be very much on like the outside part of the foot. But we see with Christian Coleman, this is what we see with a lot of the more high-level track and field athletes, which is always very impressive. You know, it's great to see Xavier Worthy and John Ross and some of these great football players, but at the end of the day, they're football guys. Track and field is a very different thing when it comes to how precise their foot strike is and foot contact, and the difference between where they're landing and how they're landing costs those hundreds of seconds that makes it so they're either a Nike-sponsored athlete or not sponsored at all, or not even showing up for the Olympics. We saw with Christian Coleman, he barely missed going to the Olympics, and you know, all those little small details will end up making a big impact on your ability to be able to become a finalist there. So big thing that stands out though is notice when he lands, again, same type of thing. He's turning that heel inwards and that knee outwards to be able to absorb and keep that weight forward. He's not crossing his feet over a ton. So you can see as he's pushing off the ground here, his foot goes from here slightly inside, but he's getting that knee right forward. That foot doesn't end up crossing over the knee. We'll see that a lot with athletes where they're pushing off so much with their foot, well, they'll end up crossing over with their feet. With him, he's doing a really good job of getting that knee straight up and through, and again, very effective with the arm swing. Notice how quick he is. As soon as that hand comes back, he's coming back straight back through, and he's not wasting a lot of motion with those hands going side to side. Again, you're watching this video to be able to understand, how can I be more efficient? How can I be more effective with my block start? And these are small little details that you could look at and see and be able to correct. And the main thing that I think you want to understand is, and be able to work on, is being able to absorb through the foot properly. And a lot of times you could just do this by working on kind of like lateral jump type movements. You could do single leg squats. You could even just work on being able to do like calf raises with your heel a little bit higher, or squats with your heel higher up. So then you could really feel how to properly absorb through that foot. And what again stands out with him, with Christian Coleman, and this is a super unique thing. This is why he's one of the fastest in the world, ran 9.7 in the 100, has won the world championship for the 60 multiple times. So the fastest person from 0 to 60 multiple times in the entire world. And he actually is the world record holder in the 60. So what he does really well, though, to accelerate is he gets the foot down and then is able to transition off so well. So, you know, in all of these, his foot contact time is 0.16 for the first two, and then about 0.14 for 3 and 4, while still picking up a lot of forward distance here. And how he does that, again, just goes into how he's absorbing with that heel. That heel goes in, that knee goes out, so he can keep that weight forward. He keeps that very forward spine position, kind of leans into that right side. Notice as he's striking the ground here, he's really sinking down deep in that right side. But as he's striking here, while his heels in, his kind of toes out, he's still able to keep that weight forward and gets a very quick push off. So it's a combination of being able to get the foot down very quickly. His turnover speed is about 0.2 in that first step, and then about 0.28 for the next 3 steps. So they're very quick on and off the ground. Again, we'll see most guys that are going to be 0.3 and above. And to me, I usually say the goal is about 0.3. So when your foot comes off the ground to when it strikes back on the ground, about 0.3 seconds. But he's at 0.28. Obviously, this is why he's super elite, because a lot of times we're just trying to get down into 0.3 or sub 0.3 is always awesome if we can get there. But most guys are above 0.3 when it comes to getting their foot down. And then when they are able to do that, they a lot of times have a lot longer time with their foot spent on the ground, closer to 0.2 seconds. I see people all the time with above 0.2. Again, he's in that 0.14 second range. How does he do it? By keeping his weight forward as he's absorbing into the ground. And again, how he does that is by, during foot strike, turning the knee out, keeping that heel in, and really bending that shin forward so he can keep all of the momentum forward on his foot, so then he could have that quick foot contact time. As always, guys, thanks for watching. We have a lot of different options for things you could get down in the description down below. If you want to improve your own block start or get a analysis on what are some of the key things that you can improve, go and check out the description. As always, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. We'll talk to you soon.